Hello everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net here. We're back on the Windows system, October 7th, 1:02 p.m. Today I want to show you some of the developments that have been going on. We just had an issue fixed quickly by good old MotiveWave support to get us back on Windows natively, and all is good. So what you're looking at is MotiveWave with a Wanda, all the scanned CFD product and forex product. Now the difference with this scan is going to be totally different. We're going to be able to apply our instruments of strategies. So what we're looking at right now is we want to look at, there's quite a lot of good, excellent scores here. So I'm going to go through these and try to suss out the long opportunities only. I'm not really interested in shorting right now. That's a hard thing to master, and right now it just makes more sense to long stuff. So let me reset this scan here. So what we have here is we've got our scan here. I want to change my layout option right now. So I'm going to choose, which one's the better one? This one. Okay. All right. So in the same thing here, hopefully this scanner will, no. So this is a good lesson because a lot of people ask about how to work with MotiveWave, and I'm just putting you through the process at the same time. My apologies, as I'm not new to it, but you got to get reacquainted with the thing because it's been a bit of time. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I have a way to get around this. For now, I'm just going to leave. I'm going to show you the scan. So I made a new scan with a new watch list here. So it's a 4-hour scan. I've added 134 instruments. These are them. Most of the commodity CFDs, which I like watching. Trading's another story, especially if it's through a forex broker. And I could go on about that, but there's so many different topics on that online. 4-hour time frame and just all scanning patterns. So we'll apply that and off we go to start it. So here you can see we are quickly going through this. Now I will say with the amount of memory I have now, it's much faster, even on an older processor. So right now we have here Euro, Canadian. What I could do is I am going to create a new chart. And this is, I don't have to do this, but I'm just going to do this for now, just to see the chart. But what I can do is, see if this will link up. Yeah, okay, cool. So right now, if you're new to what I do here, what I do is I look for the last pattern of the harmonic scan, whatever pattern it is. I just want to see the this higher than the current price. Okay, so let me just check to make sure I have my strategies here. So these two here, the under examples, MACD reversing strategy, I'm testing, simulating. I'll do another video on that with the cryptocurrency right there, testing it in simulation mode. Now let me talk about that. I know I'm all over the place here. So if you come under configuration, under preferences, under here you look for simulated account. You want that enabled. So now you can start with, I don't know, let's say $1,000 US for an account to test. Okay, so now with the strategy in place that I've got coded up under, where's my examples? Okay, so I'm under, I have two here, MACD reversing, and I have Mama's strategy. So if you want this strategy, I do a complete walkthrough of this, code-wise, and make the thing available to my elite members. So if you want that, you might want to join the elite program. Let me just pull that up right now. So if you're new to the world of Quant Labs, I've got a website here dedicated as a shop called quantlabs.shop. And when I say elite, all you gotta do is come under catalog, and in there you'll find this guy right here. This will go up quite a bit because I'm gonna add a new course on MotiveWave because I'm leveraging more and more with MotiveWave, and I'm working with a few people on developing really good strategies in a coordinated way with those folks. But we're keeping that under the down low for now, and probably will. So if you want that elite program, just come under quantlabs.shop, click on catalog, and look for a Quant Elite Service. That's what I'm referring to. So if you want that source code, you got to go there. Okay, so I can apply either of those strategies, okay, Mama or MACD reversing, to any of these. So right now, I'm only interested in testing. Well, let me just go through this. So we have here a short here on the Euro Canadian. No, thank you. We have another short. So when I see more of these, I'm more convinced that this is a very possible winner. Okay, that it will go down and it will short. So we have here again with the GBP, the pound against the Canadian. Now this is where it gets interesting. And here we have US 30, that's the top 30 of the US. And that would be an interesting one to long. So what I could do, I could open up a separate chart. Let's see how I can do that. Okay, I'm going to do, well, let me make notes here. I'll use this one. So what I'll do is I'm going to make notes of what ones I would long, okay? So we got the US 30, the 2-year treasury is down. That would make sense because the treasury with the US dollar sort of strong, and the market's strong as well, that these are supposed to move against the direction of both USD and the US markets. So you guys can see here these shorts. Okay, and that's the treasury and the 5-year. Now this is the interesting one. China, USD against the China yuan. You can see we have a long here. I might chance it just to simulate it. Now here's another good one. I think, well, not think, but shorting here on the Thai baht, USD and the Thai baht. I don't know. Here's one, Brent crude with a target price for around, is that $48? So that's a definite because I hear a lot of chatter on that. GBP against the Canadian again, and this is another short like this one. And these are excellent scores, so these are really, really important to watch. China 50, let's see, I saw another China 50 here. Both of these are long, so chances are this will go long. So I'm just making notes here as I go through. So the Chinese 50 might be another one, and where I look for that is multiple instances of these harmonic scans getting picked up with an excellent score. And these are different types of patterns, bat, sharp, but that right now is irrelevant. So we get more of these European Canadian. Let's just see here. Do I add that? Again, I'm just wanting to do long, so I'm going to drop that idea. Here's another one, Euro against the GBP. Tough one to say. And again, we're working off a 4-hour chart, right? Now, this is where it gets dicey when you start to add in these other exotic pairs like the South African Rand. I'm not going to really concentrate on that. SPX 5000, or is that 5,000? Yeah, 500, I'm sorry. That's the S&P 500. The Australian, that's looking good. So Australia 200, France 40. Okay. So here you can see that that's working here as well. Australia USD looks good. Australia CHF, that's a safe haven play. And oddly enough, I'm getting reports the last 2 weeks now that the CHF, the Swiss franc, is the strongest of all those pairs. Canadian, the franc here, euro against the British pound. Okay, and again here, remember, we got the euro GBP right here. So that's one instance, and now we have, oh, we're looking for the euro Canadian. This one right here. This was a short, and we have two more here. And again, we got excellent score rating still. So these are where it gets kind of mixed. Actually, there's three shorts there. So that's a definite I would look at if I was to short. More euro against the British pound. That's definitely what do you call a safe Brexit negotiation as they're going through that now. The SPX Australia 200, so Australian CHF, Canadian CHF. So it looks like our CHF plays as a safe haven, maybe working euro against the British pound. So here, this is where it gets confusing because you got this short, this long, and then there's a previous long as well. So because of that, I'm just going to take that off the list. There's just better, more convincing ones to go with. Euro Japanese yen, Euro Japanese yen. So now we're moving into the very good. So these are less reliable, more short. But look at this. A Euro Australian just starting to weaken, and boom, off. It's going to short. And these are the sort of things I look for exit potential, because you can see here, once you start seeing those red bars, it starts to slip. Unless something comes along, the macroeconomic news that pushes it back up, it's going down. And that's when it's something I can add. Here, again, you can see how the volume is not as strong as certain daily 4-hour bars. Okay. So again, these ones I'm going to skip over. Like, they're very good, but really I'm just going to focus on the excellent. I've already got 6 there to choose from. And what you just heard in the backgrounds of trading, I'll analyze that. That's for the crypto. So the USD Japanese yen, Mexico peso. So the USD Japanese yen, okay, so back in the day, not too long ago actually, when the US dollar was weak, the Japanese yen was still weak. That was still going down. So this right here is back to its traditional way of how the behavior should be, where USD Japanese yen is moving on up. So that is good as well. So that's probably a sign of a weakening US dollar, which is key right now as we move into the election last couple of weeks. That's going to be critical. And again, here we can look for, now this is very confusing, because traditionally both the USD and CHF should be working together. Okay, there's no doubt on that. And then Mexico, yeah, these are definitely looking like classic short opportunities in the Mexican peso USD. Now here we get into gold, into silver. So, for the last little bit, we were expecting this to move up. I mean, we got long direction, but you can see here, silver's just not really going anywhere. And I don't know why people right now would want to hold silver and gold, because it's not performing. This is why I use the harmonic scans. This is why I use the Oanda CFDs specifically, or pretty well any forex broker CFD. I wouldn't, as I said, trade it. I mean, a little bit, but I wouldn't go too crazy with it, because it gives you kind of an idea of where the hot capital is supposed to go. But it's not really I mean, it's working here from 1140 to 1150, so it's a little bit of an increase. If you watch my crypto videos, you'll see more up moves or just more in certain coins. We're just watching them now because we're switching. Well, I mean, I'm still using my Python bot, but it just hasn't really traded a lot, and that's really dependent upon trend. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'd rather now just focus on MotiveWave with the quick ability to analyze things like you're doing here visually on anything I want, as long as I have the connection to it, like for my case, Oanda and Binance. So back to the silver here, you can see here, it's just been flat. It's just been kind of gone into this mean reversion. But here's an interesting trend. We have here copper moving on up, as you can see here, but yet it's got a short call on it. Very, very strange on that one. XPT, this is platinum, again, flat. Okay, so a lot of these are kind of, in my mind, I just term it as dead. USD, INR, the Japanese yen is looking good. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just looking to make sure, because I just created this new list. I'm looking for my Scandinavian coins in here. I want to make sure that they're included. Okay, so this is the ones I'm looking for. Czech, Denmark. We got Poland here. That's another key one. CHF. I'm more specifically looking for Norway and Sweden. Okay, so here's Sweden here, and here's Norway. Okay, so everything looks good, but I'll leave it at that. Now, let's start doing our setups for the, and I'm going to run these. Okay, so this is the list I'm probably going to go with for now, just by going through the harmonic scans. I'm going to apply the reverse MACD strategy. Now, you won't get that out of box with MotiveWave if that's what you're interested. I've coded it up myself, and again, I've talked about how to get it. Is through, if you, I mean, you kind of got to be a programmer to do it. Is to really take advantage of the quantlabs.shop under catalog, Quant Elite Servers. That's what you're looking for, because this is going to get better. But anyways, here's the list. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to put those under the test under simulated. Now again, I want to make sure I've got my my simulation account set up. Yep, and that's set up again at 1,000 US. And here we go. Okay, so now one of the things, let me think here. I'm going to show you something that might be useful. I'm not sure if this will work. Consider this bonus time. So if I go to my watch list here, yeah, I don't have set up a watch list. So this is going to be a lesson for all of those that want to know how to set up these harmonic scans. So if you go into my little harmonic scan right here and edit it, so we got a harmonic 4-hour. Here's all the instruments. So these are all of the instruments that I've added. Okay, and it doesn't look like I've got everything set up for it. So I have to set up a manual watch list. So I'm going to do that. But what I want to show you is if I go into scanner here, okay, oh no, I'm sorry. I want watch list. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so we have all the watch lists set up. This one doesn't really have anything in it. So make this all of it. Okay, so I'm going to call this watch list all. I'm going to edit it. Okay, here's all my instruments. So I got to mimic all those instruments that I've added. Okay, so I'm going to include all these are included already. So yeah, I think unrealized P&L would be important to move over. Position. Pips, I don't really like that terminal. I don't really work with that too well. I want percent change is the big one I look for, obviously. Let's see, change in reverse exchange, percent range, currency. So symbol's good enough. Average entry account. So for now, I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so these are all the columns that will show up on my watch list. So if I go in and now start adding my instruments, so looks like I can, here's all the ones in my local database. I guess I can include those. So there's 118. There's quite a few in there that are probably missing. But let's see if I can find certain ones that I would think is important that's missing. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. We'll just assume that's all good. So now we have this watch list. So I can now watch what's moving, what's not moving. Natural gas is up, copper's up, as I said. XAG, which is silver, Japanese yen, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's a really good feature to have. So now I'm going to create my back test. So I'm going to load up my strategy optimizer. Okay, so now we're going to create a new strategy. So we're going to do a back test first. Now I'm still learning the optimize and the walk forward and all that fun stuff through somebody else. They're really excellent at seeing this stuff. So let me just add in just the first strategy here, the MACD reversing strategy, which again I've coded up. We're going to do a back test on it. We are going to do trading option. Yes. I could set this up for 2 sessions, for one North American or New York time and another one for, let's say, European. I'm not going to worry about that. One thing that was hinted at was a trading launch. So based upon the default instrument that you're wanting to do a back test on. Okay, so now we have our watch list available. So our watch list all has 118 instruments. So if I go next, okay, so we now could work with bar size. I'm just going to whittle it down to 4 hour because that's what we watch the harmonic scans on. I'm going to go back the last 3 months. Now, something I want you to watch here, depending upon how much time it takes to run this. That's pretty fast. This is a 14 gig system. So here we go. Okay, so now we know out of these assets or instruments, which one will get us the most profit. Just got to sort it. Definitely not USD in Hungarian. You're going to lose. But look, you got XAU, which is gold. In Japanese yen, that would be best by a long shot. So if you had invested in gold, you do really well with this particular strategy. Okay, so for now, here's a chart. Some reports on the trades and the losses. Again, I got to go through this on the different periods of trades. 23 were taken, execution 24 times, and the metrics here: 22,000 total net profit, long and short trades. Okay, so that's a pretty decent strategy, and I believe that would work on. Let's see here. So that's $100,000 with a $22,000 return. 22% over 3 months is pretty good for a time period. Bid and ask midpoint, which is what you want over, looks like 3 months. July, August, September. Yeah, so that'd be 3 months. So if I change this to 1 hour, let's see if there's a big difference in this on the performance, because there can be when you lower your time frame, but you don't want to lower it too much because it puts a higher risk performance. See, big difference with that time frame. 4,000 on the US 30, same time frame, just an hourly time frame. So if you go back to 4 hour, you get much better performance, much better. So if I go in there and I switch that up, so we got 4 hour. So the question is, what if I just did it daily? Now on my webinar last Monday, we had a guy, a presenter actually, he wants to build the whole thing himself, roll his own solution. I've tried to do that. I've known probably going into 100 plus people that have tried to do it and they never approach it. It's a tough gamble. And my argument was, after all that wasted time, I would just say, yo, why don't you let MotiveWave or whatever platform you want do all that heavy lifting for you, so I can see the analysis on what works and what doesn't, just by point and clicking instead of raw coding it and, oh, I got bugs to deal with and da da da. This is the advantage of these kind of platforms. So now we're doing a daily scan here. Let's see if there's a big difference. Holy geez. So some of this I question if this is right or wrong. I mean, this gave us on an hourly basis, we would have lost our shirts. But if you want my opinion, I would probably rely more on the 4 hour with gold top performing. Okay, I think that's just the better one to go with, this one right here on gold and Japanese yen. And that would make sense because for the last couple of weeks I've been seeing the best performer for gold was in Japanese yen. So this is possibly reliable. Okay, so we've done enough strategy analysis with the reverse MACD. So let's look at the second one that I've coded up, which is MAMA, which is the mother of all moving averages. So this one right here, okay? So we can run that, but I'm going to now switch out my strategy here. And now we're going to use MAMA versus the reverse MACD. This one right here, or this one right here. So now we're going to use that same everything, strategy, midpoint, and we're just comparing now everything else the same, but which strategy will give us a better performance. So we'll find out in a sec here. Okay. So you can see here, same identity, 18,000 or 16,000 euro with the rand. I can't really comment on that. And then nothing else that would work. Okay, so let's just do some more testing with this on the frequency. So we got 1 hour. Let's just leave it 1 hour and see what we can believe or not believe. So again, NASDAQ. Yeah. Okay. So NASDAQ. I think that was a similar one on an hourly basis, but we'll just go now with the daily. Okay, let's see this one. But you see what I mean? Like, to be able to point and click and get results on one strategy against another and know which one performs best. Again, we get coming into this questionable USD, Euro, Hungarian. This one, you know, no offense, I got to take a look at this thing. USD HUF, and you're going to see things that you wouldn't have seen otherwise, right? So I'm going to switch this over to 1 hour. Let me see in the 1 day. Let's see the performance. So if we were going back to, was it July? To 163 to 315. That is a big jump. Okay, so you can see here, this must have been a safety trade, and the crunch. I didn't even know this, to be honest, during the meltdown in March. Look at this. This went from 295 to 335. This one here is sorry. So that's 290 to 315. I don't know if I could really rely on that, but if I was to compare apple to apple on the performance of both strategies, I would say 4 hour 4 hour right here. Okay, so you got your 4 hour right here, XAU Japanese yen. So I believe that. Whereas if I was to compare that, and that's with 16,300. But again, if I choose the MACD backtest, the 4 hour, we get a little bit more. This is one of the powerful features I like about MotiveWave, just be able to know that and just run this little guy and do a buy and hold for 3 months. I've gotten a 22% return, and I believe that, because if you look at the chart, even though I do joke about the performance of so we want Japanese yen, XAU JPY, and we want 4 hour. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around. I just do one day. Yeah, you can see, well, from April till here, like that went from 155 all the way up to 215. That's quite a bit of a rise. In fact, that'd be like a DeFi crypto rise run up. All right, so we'll leave it at that. All right, so let's go back to our back test, or our so we've done our scanning. One thing I forgot to mention here is you want to be able to run a walk forward with that. Also, you want to do a optimize. Still trying to figure out my head around that. But you have to play with these guys right here. We're just going to apply it to, actually, let's just say watch all. Data, 4 hour, execution the same, max results, I don't know, let's say, was it 20? Net profit, that's what we focus on. So here, everything stays the same. But this is the part I have to understand better. But let's just go back and do a walk forward. So what it's going to do is going to use the same data, same parameters, same everything, same data set. And we are going to use the same strategy, MACD reversing strategy. So it's going to use all the performance data of 3 months on a 4-hour basis on a walk forward basis. So this is to make sure that the momentum of what we see will continue. Okay? So it looks like if things hold, we can make a 14% over however long, a walk forward about 14%, and that's still the strongest one. So let's look at the chart here. Okay, so I'm gonna show you some things here that we can hopefully look at. You know, I'm fortunate to have the godfathers of both the back testing, which is pretty well Dr. Ernie Chan as a on my email list or my Rolodex, and as well as the guy who does the walk forward, Dr. Bob Pardo, who's specialized in the walk forward. I can clarify this with him and talk to him about this. Okay, so looking good there. Okay. So knowing that, one last thing I want to show you that's very, 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 very powerful, which is part of the Ultimate Edition of MotiveWave, is this one. So if I look at XAU in Japanese yen, our best performer forecasted on a, I don't know, we'll stick with a 4-hour time frame. Okay, so you have that right now. Okay, goes all the way back to August 23rd. So now I'm going to pull up our favorite, the Hearst cycle. This one is a premium, and there's a reason for it. We can kind of forecast when we can expect these moves to happen based upon, again, performance charting. But this is a whole nother world to learn about. Okay, so let's create this. So here it looks kind of ugly, and based upon what I'm seeing here, these 4 diamonds, 3 diamonds are classic reversals that we're looking for based upon what I'm seeing here. So that's kind of like what I'm looking for. I mean, a lot of people would look for the math in this. You see, we have here this, we have 5 stars, 4 diamonds, so we have a run up here, 5 diamonds here, which is our run up here. So the more diamonds we have with a minimum of maybe 4, we can expect, here's one with 6. Okay, so I'd say a minimum, yeah, I would say a minimum of 4 diamonds. So we have here. So now what we can do is we can go and move forward in time. This is why I do think that this study is so expensive in the Ultimate. So what we're looking for is lining up our 4. So right here, we would expect that's November 14th, 11/19. As you can see on the bottom left there, that's when we expect that to reverse based upon past performance. And it goes on and on and on. But that's the next. And here's another one right here for October 10th, another reversal in gold. And this can be applied to any instrument by this type of analysis. Very powerful. So in here, we are looking at around October 10th, 9th, in there. And here as well, October 23rd is another one. Well, it's only got kind of 3. But you kind of get the idea how that works. So even though I am talking a lot about MotiveWave and my own stuff, I'd rather do this than now after 9 years, 8 years of coding, trying to figure stuff out using tools like this built by other folks. So if you want to know more about this stuff, you can always get our USB key here under the Quant Lab shop. You get a couple hour videos on MotiveWave, 1 hour for programming. And the other thing is you don't have to be a programmer to use MotiveWave. I mean, if you are a programmer, then that enables you to do what I've got to have these strategies coded up from studies. Okay, it's not very hard to do, but I've got a source code walkthrough for that. Again, for my Quant Elite service folks. So any of these USB keys are the same, and it also will include a 7-day trial into my analytics service. And you also will get, for now, a lifetime membership into my private chat server as well. Okay, so if you want to get in on that, get in on it right away, because I'm not going to keep these around forever, and they're going to go up and up and up. Anyways, that's about it. I just want to show you that. Thanks for watching, and have yourselves